moving closer.
I don't know. I think of like a cheap woman.
And pull the David up.
All right. I'm interested in concert to you. You just sit right where you are, bro.
We'll come in here instead of we'll check them out. Well, this is Wednesday night channeling class number 131. Believe it or not. Called Expressing Love. The writing goes, divine love is the substance of all that is. God's love is the reason for being. Have you checked lately to know how much you are expressing love? Is it enough? Each will know in their hearts the quality and quantity of love they are expressing. It is better to not do it than to do it out of duty. Keeping yourself in the vibration of God's love is to be at one with all life. Divine love holds many wondrous knowings that is constantly increasing. As you go within, ask to be lifted to a higher consciousness through the vibrations of divine love. Practice feeling His presence through feeling the vibration of His love. Declare your love for Him. Know that His love is the one constant that will always be. His love for all His creations is equal. Yeah. Don't turn it off. Push it just down.
Turn it off.
Turn it down.
Oh, no. Okay.
Twist it. Yeah, that's good. Let us start with the quiet time, and let us think about the writing and the substance of divine love. Let us feel the love in this group for each other and for all those who are not here. Let us send love to all those who are here from the other realms. Let us send God's love out to the whole universe. Let us fill this room to overflowing with His presence and His divine love. Let us feel His presence through feeling His love. Thank you, Father. Good evening, my dear ones. This is Don coming to you from these realms of love and light. It is a beautiful subject that you have tonight. It is one that you cannot talk too much about. It is a subject that we should study more and learn more about. For there is no knowing the total about God's love. When we send love, God's love, we send it out unlabeled, and we send it labeled sometimes. And as it goes through us, it is purifying and cleansing all of our finer bodies. And when you send love, you might think of this and fill yourself to overflowing with God's light also, and see all of your finer bodies as God's love goes through you in your mind's eye. See them filled. See all of them cleansed. And if you are quiet when you're doing this, you can concentrate on this as you are sending God's love. But all you need to do is just think about it and then release it, and it will continue to happen. But when you think about something like this, as you are doing it, it intensifies it. It makes it more. It multiplies the love that goes through you. When you send God's love out of duty, it does go forth, but it is not as high in quality and does not carry the, what should I say, the real substance that, and that is not correct either, but it carries less of the divine love that you are sending. Let us stop for a minute and send love to Donald and to the channel. There, that is much better. There are many beautiful ones on this side of the veil who have come to be with you, and they expressed the thought that it is just enough to be here with you in this circle of light, whether a message is brought or not, just to be in your presence, knowing that you are reaching higher in consciousness. You are striving for a greater life. You're moving higher in understanding. They are also learning through you. Those who choose to work with the ones in the physical from the other dimensions take on a responsibility in a sense. Your teachers and your guides and the one who is in charge of your growth. And as they accept this responsibility, they grow as you grow. And if you do not grow and go backward overall, then they may accept another charge and let someone who is higher be responsible for you. This is not true for any in this circle tonight, but it is true for some on this physical plane who are going backward, you might say, who are losing ground in their overall growth. In the true reality, it is a part of their experience. But as the ones from this side of the veil who are growing and wish to attain more growth, they do allow someone higher in consciousness and then take on another charge if they can help better. This may be confusing to you because it did not come out clearly in the words. But what I wanted to express is that they love you. They love you as God loves you, as much as they can. It is difficult to get the words through tonight, and so allow your love to continue to flow. Allow in your mind's eye to see this channel of light reaching up to the higher vibrations of divine love and light, the realms that is constant in its purity of God's love and light. This is a realm that the masters live on, the ones who have mastered your physical plane, your astral realms, and your mental realms. This is pure spirit, and they are pouring love, God's love, out upon the universe and into each planet and into each dimension. As you meditate, and I realize you have started a meditation class for those who are learning to meditate. When you sit in stillness, before you sit in stillness, think of God's love. Think of God's love for you and your love for God, and allow the vibrations to increase by filling your home, the place that you are meditating, to overflowing with God's love. And as you go through your day, remember constantly to send God's love. As you get in your car to go someplace, send God's love ahead of you into that place and fill it to overflowing with love. Send love into yourself often through the day, and know that His love is with you constantly, for He is the life force that you are. You cannot escape His love, my dear ones, but you can choose to be unhappy or to be happy, to be at peace or to be sad. You can choose to move higher in consciousness by realizing that you are children of God, that you are His offspring, and that you are growing into maturity as He is constantly growing. As you remember this and take your attention away from the physical plane and the so-called problems of the physical plane, then can you be relaxed, you can be at peace, and you can allow love to flow through you constantly. It is not necessary to concentrate on your problems. Some think it is. Some think that it is intended that you should concentrate on your problems until they are dissolved. You see, my dear ones, by concentrating on your problems, you're adding more to them. You're making them larger because you are a co-creator with God, and you are constantly creating. And if your thoughts are going to your problems, then your thoughts are the creative force that is coming through the mind, that is carrying the divine love to create whatever you're concentrating on and enlarging it. Remember this and turn from your so-called problems. Turn from them and release them to God. Release yourself to God often through the day and know the truth. The truth will set you free. The truth is that there are no problems. There are only opportunities. Opportunities for you to lift yourself above and beyond the physical illusion of so-called problems. Opportunities to move higher in consciousness so that you do not allow your body to become tired and to feel the weight of the world. This is not necessary for you to do this. And I tell you in all sincerity that you can overcome this. When you are listening to the news, as you sometimes do, instead of thinking how terrible this is, just send God's love into all the things in the news and all the things that are not in the news. It is good to know what is going on in your world so that you keep abreast of the pace of growth that your planet is moving, and to send love into those places that seem to need it. There are many, many on your planet that are caught at this particular time, as you would say, between a rock and a hard place. But I tell you, my dear ones, they have created this condition themselves, and no matter how many there are in the group that are involved, they have created it, and so they can uncreate it if they so choose. But it is very difficult when you are thirsty and hungry to work with divine love. And so when you send them love, you are helping in a way, if they can accept it, to do the work for them. You cannot change them, but you can give them the opportunity to change. And realize within the depths of your being, my dear ones, how much power you have to use against yourself or for yourself, to use against the world and the universe or for the world and the universe. And I tell you, you are either doing one or the other constantly. Every thought, word, and deed is expressing either the dark side or the light side, is expressing the love of God or the absence of understanding the real truth. And when we come back to the word truth again, when you know the truth and keep it abreast in your mind and in your life, keep it in front of you and allow no one to take it from you. You see, no one can unless you allow it, unless you attend to what they are saying or doing. They have no power over you. And you should realize this within the depths of your being so that you can cleanse yourself of all past negation and be an open, clear, clean channel for this wondrous love of God to flow through. I tell you, not very many know the love of God or know that they can be a channel for God's love. The masses on your planet think that they are not worthy, and this, of course, lowers them in their consciousness even more. As you learn and add to the vibrations of love on this planet, it helps everyone on this planet just a little. And as you lift your consciousness, so is everyone else lifted. If you could truly know this and realize it or make it real in your consciousness, then you would not waste another moment in thinking about your problems. If you enjoy your problems, if you take pleasure in them, then they will be with you for a long time. But if you demand of yourself and of the thoughts of problems to be gone and send love into it, and God's love is much more powerful, because your so-called problems have no substance of their own, only the life force that you give them with your thoughts. I know that you have heard this before many times, but sometimes we need to be reminded. Sometimes it is important to go back to the primer and get the basics solidly in your foundation and shore up your foundation by reminding yourself of the real truth, reminding yourself of who you truly are. My dear ones, you are divine. Remember this and say it to yourself often. I am a child of God. I am divine. I am an eternal being that had no beginning and will have no end. I am on my way up to being a master. I accept this responsibility to fill my body and all my bodies with divine light by keeping my eyes single to the glory of God, by keeping my thoughts pure, by keeping my understanding in the place where it belongs instead of in the dim and dark realms. There is much that can be said about this. There's much that can be done to keep yourself reminded. Often through the day, have signposts along the way that remind you. Have something that keeps you reminded of who you truly are. And let yourself remember. Your subconscious mind, as you have been told, will let you drift to other places than the pure light and pure truth, if you allow it. But my dear ones, you are the boss. You are in charge of yourself. Not even God is in charge of you. And think not for a moment that He is. He has given you freedom to master yourself and to master your mind and your thoughts and to overcome this plane. And as you rise above this planet and this plane as He did, then you are as He is. You are anyway, but you are as He is and you know it. Realization is a very interesting word. And as you know, it means to make real. As we move through the days and as we go through the experience to experience, we are given opportunity to think beautiful, loving thoughts, or to be dragged down by the illusions of this planet and this world. Be the master of yourself and remember who you are. Remember that no one or no thing, no condition can disturb your oneness with God unless you allow it. Well, what if some catastrophe happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? It's all illusion, just a play on a stage. It's not any more real than the movie that you watch. Not any more real than the plays that you see on the stages, for it is indeed a play on a stage. And the props have been set for you as an individual. Each individual on this planet has their own props that they need to bump into, you might say, so that they have the opportunity to test themselves to see if they are making real the knowing that is deep within the center of their being. God dwells at the center of your being, and this center of your being is at the center of all life. To you this may sound confusing, but remember there is no duality, there is no time or space, and you are always at the center of all life, and all life is at the center of you. Shall we stop for a little while and allow you to ask questions? It is in your mind several questions. Allow them to come forth, and do not be concerned how they sound to others.
There's something I would been puzzling over for years. I went out, I had a student nurse that graduated and went out to Wyoming to do nursing. And she wrote me, would I come out? She sent me the car fare, and would I come out and help her get a divorce? She had married a major in the Army and had been on night duty. And while she was on night duty, he took $100 out of her purse and went out and got broke. And then after a while, he wanted to get a divorce again. And so she wanted the divorce too. So she was a very quiet girl. She never could talk to protect herself or even express herself. And so I came. And I was on the witness stand, and the doctor, the judge said, but he was an officer. And I said, Judge, you mean an officer and a gentleman? And I don't know what the judge looked like at that moment, but a great big wind ball came over and hit me just with a terrific force. It was just like one of these refuse balls, without tumbleweeds coming along. And I've always thought that was the soul of the man agreeing with me. Was I right or was I wrong?
The soul of the individual.
The judge.
Yeah.
The judge was agreeing with it.
Yes.
Was that a right interpretation, or was it wrong?
Each soul knows the truth. And no matter what the personality or the physical self is doing or saying, the soul within knows the truth. And no matter what the outer play is like, you see it is for our experience and nothing more. Try not to make too much importance of things that happen on the physical plane. They are important, how you react to them and how you handle them. But when you make them so important that they take your life over, you see then you have no life of your own, and you are just the so-called problems, and a big ball of problems, you might say. Turn loose of this misunderstanding about life. Turn loose of the things that are troubling you, and be at peace within yourself, knowing that God is the life force that you are, and no other has the right to tell you how to run your life, not even your mate. And when you realize this, that you are responsible to life, not any one individual. You are responsible to the life of that individual if you are left in charge of them. But when people allow others to take control of them and make their life miserable, they are missing the mark. and they are allowing their life force to be dissipated, and it is not going forth as it should. Are there other questions?
Yes, I want to know, when there's a lot of chatter going on in your mind, how do you turn it off and just try to get it to be quiet? It's repeating over and over and over again.
Yes, repeat over and over again, God, I love you. God, I love you. And something like this. And allow that to be your choice of the chatter. You see, you have left the door open through worry and concern to let the chatter come in. So close the door, and you can close the door by making a decision what you want to be running through your mind. Start sending love to the whole universe. Send love to the individuals that you know. Send love to yourself. You see, you do have the choice with each thought. Each thought is your choice. Of course, if you leave the door open, then others' thoughts can come in and distract you. But be firm with yourself and with your mind, and let them know that you, the entity, the Spirit of God, is in charge of this mind and this body, and you take control. Does this help your understanding? Yes. It is not easy sometimes when we're confronted with many things that we become confused. And when you do, ask God to let His presence be known. He is always there, but ask Him to let His presence be known in your consciousness by saying, I love you, God. I love you, God. And I send your divine love forth in many, many ways. Continue to be the master. Do not allow yourself to be taken over by the negative thoughts that are all around you. The world is filled with negative thoughts. And if you leave the door of your mind open, they will come in, and they will make a home there. But in your minds, in this circle, they do not belong there, and you know it. Divine love belongs in your mind and in your heart and in your spirit. And let that love, the vibration of that love, open you up to all of life. It is a wondrous, beautiful experience when you take charge and be strong within yourself. Be strong through the vibrations of God's love, and let this strength be constant in you. Let His love be constant within you. Are there other questions?
I have a question. I'm confused as to what is worry and what is truly an interest in understanding. I had a problem today, and I have been trying to understand what caused the problem. Now, is that worry about it, or is that I'm confused as to what I'm doing here?
This is at your work?
Yes.
At your work, you have things that you need to understand, but I would not label them problems. When you label them problems, and that's a negative force that's coming into the situation. It is a technical thing, is it not? You might say.
It concerns a policy.
Yes, all right, policy. So you need to understand the policy, and if you cannot get it from the people around you, then go to your higher self, my dear one. You know how to do this. And ask your higher self. But you have to first quiet your mind down so that, and take your attention off of this situation and stop calling it a problem. And ask for clarification. Ask for divine light. Now, the policy of the company may not agree with the policy of divine light and love, but it will be the best in the long run. Is this helping your understanding?
Yes, very much. Stop.
Yes. Many companies on your planet have policies that are not of love, divine love. And when you are confronted with them, you have to make a choice. Always choose the policy of love, of God's love, and you will be all right. Nothing is stronger in the whole universe than divine love, because you see, my dear ones, the whole of creation is made from the substance of God's love. And so when you take a situation and bring it to the vibration of divine love, then it is equal and you are in balance. Are there other questions this evening? This class tonight on love has been brought before you, but each time that we bring it back again, let us think of it being a little bit higher and more consistent with our growth. And as you measure yourself against divine love, this is the correct measuring rod. Whenever you have some decision to make, ask yourself, is it loving? Whenever you have to do something or anything that you are called upon, is it loving? Or what would Jesus do? Or some other master? And you will know immediately, for the answer is always there within you. And when you are open with the vibration of love, by at least 3 times a day, going within to contact the vibration of God's love, and let it be a feeling within you that you recognize, that you learn to understand, then you are in tune with the substance, with the force that created everything in the whole of creation. It is not easy to break old habit patterns, but if you will use God's love, then you have the strongest power that there is. And try not to give attention to the problem or the situation or whatever you want to call it. Give your attention to God's love, and out of God's love will come the answers for you. Be true to your God self, and your God self will sustain you in all ways. It has been a pleasure to be with you this evening, and it is always a pleasure for those who come from this side of the veil, and they are signaling me to tell you of their love for you. They want you to know that they are with you much of the time. And those who have come to learn as you are learning, send their love also. Think of a great master in the center of your circle of light, reaching up very high into the realms of divine love and light, and see a beam of love and light coming out to each one of you as the spokes in a wheel, and feel the touch upon your head of this master as he touches each one of you. Feel his presence and his vibration as it becomes stronger and stronger. Feel the love of God that goes with this vibration of this entity who has come to be with you. And he asks that you open up the sore places so that he can touch them and heal them with God's love. Let us sit in stillness for just a little while before we close and feel the presence of this great being. Thank you, Father. Go in love this evening and leave this place of love and light and healing power with this touch that you have received, and know that it is always there if you only open up to it. Your free will is involved, and when you open and ask, you shall receive. God bless you, each one, and good evening. Together in the physical as we have been in spirit, of these very beautiful beings of light. Let us feel their presence here in great abundance. And when we leave this place, let us take this feeling, this vibration of love with us, and renew it all through the day, all through the week. Thank you, fun.
Okay, one day then I did the gardening and in my chair out in the middle of the garden and watched the sun come. And it's wonderful. Old people, but
I hear your ears going off. I hear your ears going clear.
radio. And I don't function. Well, they broken it all that. We stood pretty bad, so the shop. Trisha. I have a couple of books that I left in the love joy. Love and Jeff. Trisha, look.